head out your ass. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you hear the I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck this cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. She said, do you like waffles? I said, hell yeah. Been watching Equals 3 until 2 a.m. I ain't got no iPhone, but I got a DS with a keychain, a pinky. Her cupcakes are the best. I've been failing my classes cause I don't give a damn. They say the world is my oyster, but the free market's a scam. Everything's been changing since last generation was born, and they won't try to take and change. Use a two-edged sword. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop until you I'm the antonym of the internet, been fighting on new grounds over if my love is valid. Fuck this cynicism, let the colors fly. Don't care, you think it's cringe because it's not your life. It's never too late to fall in love with the world. Your past is not today, so set your stride with a twirl. Yeah, we've all made mistakes before, that's a fact of life. But once you restate your heart, you'll be just fine. Now with your life, you say it's all mine, all mine. Revel in your friends and hobbies, let your heart speak. Wanna drift or say some shit, just block that internet free. I'm the antonym of the internet, still cleaning up the viruses that you had left. I think I'm falling in love again. Don't stop.
Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome back to Bladesong. So, we've got a lot to do. I'm gonna start the game up, but also, so we have just like gone into Air and Keep. Oh, I'm gonna raise my head up a little bit. I'm a little bit low. I always have to do like a little personal adjustment every time I get in. But yeah, I also have some news about the channel. So the Discord announcement is a thing because Discord has decided, yeah, we're gonna fuck you. Get your info, get your fucking ID or whatever. We'll see how that plays out. Apparently they'll do like face scan stuff. I don't really want to do that either, but we'll see how it all works. We should be going to speak with the tannery guy today. But I also have some stuff I want to talk about today, just like about my plans for the future, because I haven't gotten a video out in like a regular video, not a short, out in a while. And I've been thinking about that and my new schedule, because I just need to schedule again. Oh, also, this fucking, god damn it, display is not capturing. Okay, there it goes, finally. Why was it not capturing the right display? Freaking hell. Alright, there we go. But yeah, so one of the things I've been thinking about, let's go ahead and get into Air and Keep. I'll talk about this once we get like a little bit of time during like the sword creation. It's a good time to talk about shit. So we're at the tannery now. Got these like big vats. The smell hits you before the tannery comes into view, and it hits you hard. A nauseating blend of rotting flesh, stale piss, caustic lime. Rounding the corner, you see the source of the stench. Workers stand waist deep in large wooden vats filled with manure and urine, stamping the mixtures into the hides. Others scrape fat and flesh from the skins with curved knives, the wet slapping sound carried across the yard. You know, this is the first time I've gotten like a full description of like an old medieval tannery, actually. I get why a lot of books don't if this is how it's done, but like... Anyway, hey, assembly. So, I guess, find Caswin. You find him deep in conversation with a woman with a wild tangle of hair and a bow slung across her shoulders. She's standing behind a cart loaded with fresh animal hides. Piss, you say. No! Not the piss mage! Please! Please no. Please no, Piss Mage. You find him deep in conversation with a woman with wild tangled hair. The woman sees you first, her eyes keen and bright. She smiles to Caswin. Her smile is like a dazzling blade. Huntress, I'll leave you to your friend. She slips away. A puzzled Caswin turns and spots you, recognition taking a moment to flicker across his face. Well met, Smith. Sorry about the smells. Is there anything you need? Who is that? Oh, that was the Huntress. She keeps us supplied with animal hides. Well, her and the herders up in the farming district. To be honest, I don't know her actual name. Never been quite brave enough to ask. How's life in the tanning yard, Caswin? Oh, you know, I don't want to complain. Took me a while, but I'm almost used to the smell. Okay. And I'm so tired at the end of the day, I don't even have to worry about bad dreams. I just collapsed straight into bed. Bid goodbye to Caswin. Farewell. If you need me, I'll be here. Seek out the tannery owner. You find the owner seated behind an oak desk in an outbuilding, insulated from the worst of the stench. Sweat glistens on his fleshy jowls. Hello, Dawnseeker! And his fingers are adorned with silver rings. This is not a man with any personal experience of leatherworking. Aye, hi. He looks up when you enter, his eyes flashing with irritation. What now? Another complaint about the smell? Greetings. I'm the new swordsmith in Ironkeep. The man's fleshy features shift into a calculated smile. Greetings, Smith. My name is Perdeshk, and I'm in the leather trade. What can I do for you on this fine day? Is it true some of your employees are here to work off their debts? He pauses, his fingers drumming slowly on the desk. When people foolishly fall in debt to the Houndsburg League and can't pay us back, they face a number of fates. Working at my tannery is one of the better ones, I can assure you. Why do you ask? I met a man named Caswin who works for you. I was hoping to hire him. He snorts derisively. You're welcome to him, but the man owes us a considerable sum. You just need to wait about 10 years. He should have paid off his debt by then. How much would it cost to buy Caswin's freedom? Currently playing Pal World. Oh, cool. Nice. I really want to go back to that game eventually, because I've heard it's got like a lot of updates. Also, they're pissing off Nintendo for fun, which is always hilarious to watch. He pours through his ledger, muttering calculations. With interest, $2,000, but I doubt you can stump up that kind of money. Why such a steep cost to this man's freedom? He's one of my best workers. I won't let him go until he's worked off every penny. Ever heard of a name named Lucas Boriona? Matter of fact, I do know the man. Everyone knows Lucas. He's been a great friend to my family. Why do you ask? Explain how you met Shevina outside the walls. A pitiful tale. But if she has Lucas on her side, her story might have a better ending than most applicants can hope. Present company accepted, of course. Where can I find him? He's in Citadel Square almost every night, sitting at his usual table outside the Fallen Doe. Good luck getting a word in edgewise, though. Oh, lots of updates. Yeah, it's had like a lot of stuff. I've been kind of keeping up with it in the background. What do you know about the missing swordsmith? Rumor has it that Thessin murdered his poor wife and fled into the waste to escape the king's justice. Sounds plausible enough to me. You'll do well to drop this line of inquiry, Smith. Thessin was a scoundrel. No one in this city misses him, especially now that you're here to take on his role in the city's supply chain. Can I buy some leather? We don't deal with individuals. We sell in bulk to established customers. He looks you up and down with a grunt. But if you help out the tannery for a few hours, I can give you some offcuts to take home. I bid goodbye. Sure, I'll work for the evening. Supervisor leads you to a bloody hide stretched out over a wooden rack. He hands you a knife and walks away without further explanation. And I failed the roll. My muscles scream for rest after a full day of hammering. Hours of scraping flat from flesh. I hand back the knife and call it a day, rubbing my sore arms. Well, I'm a weakling. Anyway, we're gonna get a job, and then while I'm hammering the store, I can talk to you guys about like video updates, because I do have some stuff to talk about for that. Let's see. A crow pushes through your door backward, dragging a heavy sack across your workshop floor. Half her scalp is freshly scarred, the hair growing back in patches like diseased grass. Morning, Smith. Need a long blade, thin and quick, fast enough to slice the wings of a fly. Why do you need such deftness? There's spine wasps making a nest out of the town that used to be called Hobbs Hollow. Damn bugs killed my last crew. Interesting, I don't think I've seen many games that make collabs a permanent part of their games. Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. Didn't they do that with, like, the game where, oh god, what is it? There was the one where it's like the demon, you're going to hell as a robot because hell is the only place that still has blood and you run off blood. I'm not after revenge or anything petty like that. Spine wasp venom can sell for more in gold, if you know the right buyer. What's in the sack? She pulls open the sack, revealing a clattering heap of yellowing human bones. Her grin is horrific. My old crew! Or what's left of them. Do you want them? Only $20. Why don't you just bury them? I thought I might be able to sell them for something. I can make what you need. Make it count, Smith, else the wasp will have my spine. Alright, this requires mobility, crimson pigment. I think we have crimson pigment. I gain a reputation with the crows. Interesting, I don't think... yeah, but like the overkill game. Not overkill, something else. I'll have to think about it. Ultra kill, blood is fuel, hell is full. Exactly, yeah, that one. I'm pretty sure they had a crossover. Alright, now that we're into the Sword Crafter, while I'm doing this, because this game is actually a game that lets me kind of just like focus on the sword crafting while talking, we're going to talk about video updates, because I don't think you've noticed. I haven't gotten a video out since December, like early December. And part of that is I've been busy. It feels like week after week there have been interruptions or just life stuff going on. And I haven't had as much time to work on videos as I used to. Part of it is also I've gotten off schedule. I haven't gotten a new book in January, aside from the Maltese Falcon, which I have read and I do have a script for, but I haven't finished recording entirely. I have like most of the recording done, but I want to go back and change some things. I listened to it just yesterday, and I was like, ooh, I need to change a few parts here or there. And in addition to that, I've just kind of gotten off schedule when it comes to things like regular video output. I used to like have a schedule where I would release a video at least like once a week or twice a week. Well, twice a week was back when I was doing audio. I think it was once I got to videos, I was doing like once a week or once every other week. And I had specific days where I'd work on videos more than others, but I kind of kept it all around. And I kind of fell off that schedule. They made their Terraria collab a special themed dungeon with Terraria themed enemies and Terraria themed weapons and equipments. That's cool. Terraria is a really cool game, and I hope more things cross over with it. I used to be like really into Terraria back in like my Minecraft and Minecraft derivatives phase. Oh, gods. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, I kind of got off schedule, and part of it's my own fault, but it's also been really hard to get back on it. Like, the other day, I actually opened up DaVinci Resolve. Part of it is also I'm using Linux now as my, like, default, and I still don't have a large enough drive to do all my, like, video editing on Linux. I only have, like, a 500 terabyte drive that I'm using to run the Linux distro at the moment. And I can't open my secondary drives in Linux for some reason. Like, sometimes it'll let me, but sometimes it won't. I really need to fix it, but I've just been, like, again, lots of stuff going on. My dad just got out of surgery for like something. It's not like anything like major, but it was like a thing he was gonna have to get. He had to get like something put in him. I feel fine talking about that, by the way, because he posted it on fucking Facebook. He waived his right to privacy on that one himself. I usually wouldn't talk about stuff like medical stuff, but yeah, he posted it on Facebook and it was hilarious. Oh man, oh man. Anyhow, in general, I've just kind of gotten off schedule. And the way my ADHD brain works is that on one hand, I really, really enjoy the spontaneity and chaos of like random releases and new stuff and always that new obsession. But I also have like a desire when I'm working on projects for a bit of consistency. And it's this constant like back and forth with me personally, where a part of me loves just the inherent chaos of the world to an extent. Like I love just like random shit happening, you know? Not being able to predict things, being able to enjoy something that's out of the blue and exciting. But at the same time, I have a schedule, and as long as I keep to that schedule, I can be very productive on things. And so I'm in this like weird space where I kind of need to get back on a schedule so I can be more creative again. It's weird. It's very weird. So I am trying to do that, by the way. I'm not like gonna stop making normal videos. I am working on it. It's just taking a bit for me to get back into that mindset. Once I do, I'm probably gonna crank out a decent amount of stuff, and I like can stay in that mindset. Problem is for me also, it's not just like getting a video out at this point. It's about getting back in the regular pattern of videos. So I probably won't be in that pattern for at least like, oh god, probably another, what, like, video or two. It'll take a little bit. But yeah. Once I'm back, though, once I'm back in the video pattern, I will be trying to get more stuff out. And I think the best way I'm going to do it, my current thing, is trying to get a major video out every other week. And trying to get a short out once a week. I think that's a good middle ground, because I can still spend, like, a Friday and Monday and, like, parts of a Sunday working on the major video each week, and use some of that time also to release a small short. I can't always guarantee it'll be a review, but I think going back and trying to focus on getting a short out each week is going to be important, and that's why on Friday I'm going to try to spend some time working on a short and getting that ready to go. Because as long as I can keep 2 shorts out 2 weeks in a row, even if it's not on the same day, I can start to get back in that schedule. And I don't have, and hopefully it'll help me work through this block where I open up the programs and I just stare at the window like, oh god, what's wrong with me? So yeah, I think once a month makes sense. Maybe once a month, we'll see. You know what, I might try once a month and maybe an odd video here if I have something very exciting. How about that? Once a month might be better. I do want to try and get into a habit of making a short once a week, because shorts are short enough that I can do it. It lets me talk about more things, and you're right, I should probably focus on getting back on a schedule before trying to go a little bit better in the schedule I had before. I should probably try and get back on the schedule I was last year, which is about once a month. That'll probably be good. So let's try and get something out this month before February ends. Try and finish up that public domain video. Sounds like you were getting some brain melt. It does feel like a bit like I'm getting brain melt. Which is weird, because the problem with me is not that I get overworked. Like, it's not a problem of I've had too much doing. It's, I got knocked off my schedule. When I was regularly releasing videos, I was in a zone, you know? Like, I had Cyberlink. I open up Cyberlink. I know where all the stuff is. I know how to do this stuff. And I make videos. And I switched to DaVinci Resolve, and it worked. And I was back in, like, kind of a schedule. I was doing about once a month. Wasn't super consistent, but I was getting back there. And then December and November happened. And I had, like, all this holiday stuff. I've been trying to be a bit more available for my family and stuff, shit like that. And I just kind of got lost in it. And every time I went to go do stuff, it felt just, ugh. It's not all the stuff I was doing. It was, I got a break, and then I just couldn't get off the break. That's how it was for me. Alright, Crow's Talon. Crow's Talon. Because it's for a crow. It's for a sin of the crow. Senna runs her thumb along the blade's edge, watching a bead of blood well up. She nods, satisfied. This'll do. This'll do. She hasn't brought back her sack of bones. Perhaps she fought a buyer. Well, I'll be off. Those wasps won't harvest themselves. You should find a new crew before you leave the city. I'm the sole survivor. Other crows won't trust me. They'll think I'm a backstabber or worse, a bringer of bad luck. Hello, Noah Mercer! Aw, man, it's been a bit since we've seen you. We're back to Bladesong, which is like a sword crafting game. I'm actually really interested in actually doing a review on this once I'm done with the, once I'm done with some of the other stuff. I want to make time for this one. It might be a short review. I just think it's cool that it basically gives you a full sword crafting system that you could even use to like import models for other games. Okay, I've gained reputation with a faction. Okay, so I have reputation rank with the crows. Even if it's like kind of a disgrace crow. Alright, what are some of my other jobs? So, we don't have that big job with all like this fancy shit. She's gone, unfortunately. Book Application of Reason Volume 2. A book could be really useful. What's this one require? Hand and a half, narrow point, leather. We don't have enough energy to start this one. Shit. Damn it. Alright, well, I guess we'll break down some materials. Salvage. And that's about it. Okay. We will go to the peddler and sell off our shit. But yeah, it does feel like I've had a bit of brain melt, and I want to try and get back on track, because if I don't get back on track, it'll just spiral. I need some form of structure to my madness, you know? Some form of, like... I'm not really like a hierarchy. If you do a review of this game, it deserves a thumbnail done by me. Well, if you're offering, I'm not going to ever say no to a fucking assembly thumbnail. I will never say no to that. Don't start it yet. Please don't start it immediately. I don't know what, like, my opinion on this is going to be when it's done. You know, I want to, like, get the game first, get my opinion ready. But I would actually be interested in maybe getting a thumbnail done by you once, like, I do it. I do want to make sure, like, to be fair, that is a pretty good way to get me back on track, actually. Because I have this thing where if somebody makes me an asset for something, it makes me even, especially if I've requested the asset for them, like I asked and you, like, deliver an asset, I will admit, I feel like this overwhelming urge to, like, okay, this has to be done on time, because someone else has invested their time now. I can't let the other person down. Because I can let myself down all day long. But I actually, like, I usually don't, so it's this weird mixture of, I don't generally care about other people, like, shitting on stuff I make or whatever, but if you, like, help me out with something, or I feel like I have an obligation to you, I will go that extra mile and be even more thorough to try to meet it. Because I do feel like once you've got in with a person and agreed to do stuff, you should generally try to meet that agreement. But that's just my brain, like, the little social consciousness I have. Codependent production team. Yes, Chev's uncle. Okay, maybe we can give a happy ending for Chev. Please. I know there aren't a lot of happy endings in this game, but good gods. Alright, getting into character now. The narrator is back. All the city's streets eventually wind their way here. The grand plaza called Citadel Square. Market stalls trace a colorful maze around its perimeter. Above it all, the high citadel looms. Built into the bones of the mountain itself, the Citadel's imposing gate is carved into sheer rock. Access is limited only to those of noble blood and their guests. We look around. Wagons fresh from the waste unload their goods. A traveler in dusty leather sits on a barrel, regaling children with tales of the world outside. Search the marketplace for useful context. Diplomacy 65. You walk between the awnings, keeping an eye out for anyone selling steel. Yes! Roll to good diplomacy. Soon enough, you strike up conversation with a friendly ironmonger, a stall selling pots and pans. Her arms colored in burn scars from some prior accident at the furnace. Ah, I heard someone had moved into Thessenfelber's old forge. How's the keep treating you? I can finally sleep without keeping one eye open. Even inside the walls, you should keep on your toes, else you might vanish, like Thessen did. What happened to Felber? The ironmonger lowers her voice. Rumor is he got sent to the far mines for murdering his wife. Would explain why she went missing alongside him, but no one's sure. Wouldn't surprise me if that were true. Old Thessen had a temper. His black moods would well end up in black eyes for that poor woman. Can I buy steel from you going forward? A new vendor is available from your forge, the Ironmonger. Alright, cool. Let's put up a poster. You locate the public notice board near the market stalls and pin your poster among the various announcements and advertisements. A few passerbys glance over with mild interest, actually. Alright, let's meet with Lucas at the Fallen Doe. Lucas sits outside the Fallen Doe, deep in conversation with richly dressed men in silver brocade. When he sees you approach, he waves them away. How can I help you, my friend? Tell him about Chev. Lucas listens to your tale with growing interest. Nice outside the city walls, he sits back in shock and reaches for his drinks. By the burning dead! Chevenev? Chevena? Chevena? I haven't seen her since she was knee-high. I thought my brother and his family all perished in sundering. To find out my niece is alive. No, not only alive, just outside the walls. Oh, it's a joyous occasion. Drink with me, my friend. He calls over the waiter. What's your poison? The Ashen Star Ale is excellent, but the mead is rather good too. I'll have the Ashen Star Ale. He smiles approvingly as your drink arrives. He raises his glass in toast. To old faces and to new friends. He sets down the glass, though the joy is already fading from his face. Hey, I need to go. Before I go, I just wanted to say how much I love your content when I'm sad. I watch your content and it helps. That is like the best thing I could possibly hear. Seriously. One of the things I do is try and keep a positive attitude, and if that's helping you in any way, if it's helping you, like, stay happy or keep up, dude, that means, like, the world. It's okay to go. I get that life is busy. Trust me, I understand. But I am so happy for that. Seriously, you just, like, made my day. Poor Shavenna. She must have endured great hardships to cross the ways. Getting her through the gate will be no small feat. Did she mention any skills? Botany, crafting, can she handle a sword? Not that I recall. In that case, getting her in is going to be almost impossible. Every day, the marshal grows more reluctant to issue permits. The city is already overcrowded, undersupplied. I should go and visit her, make sure she's alright. Do you mind accompanying me? I'd appreciate the support of someone familiar with the camp. Of course I can accompany you. Just promise to wear something inconspicuous. Your clothes will mark you an outsider. Of course. Give me a day to make the necessary arrangements. Know anything about what happened at Thessenfelber? Not much. He was there one day, gone the next. I try to see the good in everyone, but sometimes it requires a magnifying glass. Essen was one such case. He was rude, ill-tempered, though by all accounts an honest businessman. His wife, Alice, was a kind soul. But sadly, when it was done with her brute of a husband, she worked as his assistant in the forge. She went missing around the same time he did. Do you know anyone who could supply me with wood? I know a reliable carpenter. His name is Oscar. Last I heard, he was over at the Steady Stay, helping them after some drunken crow smashed up the place. Oscar helped Kaz win situation. Lucas lays the glass to his lip, takes a thoughtful sip. The tannery owner, Perdesh, is a pig. He has a reputation for hiking up interest in his extending indentures well beyond their original terms. I do have some influence with him. However, a matter from years back left him my debt. I'll visit him tomorrow and see what I can do. Thank you, Lucas. I won't forget this. Consider it payback for telling me about your niece. See how society works? A chain of debts and obligations and favors, all looping back to a single act of kindness. It's beautiful. You know, for a noble, he is, like, weirdly optimistic. He wants to believe that, like, the people who are cruel, you can get a lot of his worldview from these, like, little interactions. He believes that the Pradesh is in his debt because Pradesh is like this scummy guy who gets indebted to other people and who other people learn dirty secrets about because he does dirty things. He doesn't act honestly. And like even the brute of a business, but he always sees it through the realm of like business too. Like, yeah, the blacksmith was a brutish guy, but he was honest about his business. He was honest about his business. I wish his wife didn't have to be like that, but he was an honest man. I can respect an honest man. And he wants to believe that society works because of these favors, because kindness reaches out to kindness. Which, yes, it is a very privileged position in this dying world, but honestly, for this kind of dying world, this optimism that if we all help each other out and we're willing to help each other in turn, like if we're willing to help and be helped, we will survive. No hard feelings to his business. Yeah. He's clearly ruthless enough to put aside personal feelings for business, but he also wants the world to operate on a kindness, you know? Like, it's this, he likes to believe that the most beautiful debts are those that are like, I owe you for helping me out of kindness, and now I shall repay this with kindness in turn. He knows that it won't always be like that, but he wants it to be like that, which is a very, like, don't get me wrong, noble, very privileged position, but he wants the world to be better, clearly, from this thing. He has a certain worldview as everything is like a relation of debts, and that if you engage in those debts honestly, the world will be better and kinder for it. Which isn't necessarily wrong. It's coming from a bit of a privileged position who's never had to, you know, scrounge for his last meal, but, like, you know, he's probably the nicest noble I've encountered, honestly. One of the nicest people in the city. What do you need? Chev told me you moved to Arran Keep to find your fortune. Looks like it worked. I was a rash, headstrong young man in my 20s. I identified trade route between Aaron Keep and Orlin that could turn a profit. I thought everyone else was just too stupid to notice it, but the route was less straightforward than I'd hoped. I made some marginal profit, but it wasn't long before the Houndsburg League took notice and started undercutting me at any turn. He's a good-faced actor. What a guy. Takes a contemplative sip of beer, his eyes focused on a point in the far past. So what'd you do? I realized my real talent wasn't in spotting trade routes, it was in spotting people. Even with my business failing, other merchants would seek me out to talk about their problems. He's a good-faced actor. Oh yeah, he really is. He really is. So I started hosting informal gatherings at the Fallen Dough. Just drinks and conversations. Merchants complain about suppliers would grumble at shipping costs. I listened and remembered everything. Now when I connect people who can help them with each other, they show their thanks in their own ways. A bottle of fine wine, a fresh bread at my door, a coin or two for my trouble. I never ask for payment. I just bring people together and they show their gratitude in ways that keeps me afloat. I still laugh about it sometimes. I spent years working all hours as a frustrated merchant, but I found my true calling at the bottom of a glass of ale. I'll take that lesson to heart. See, like, he's a man who truly listens to people, identifies problems, and those people respect him enough for engaging with them that they reward him, they pay him for that kindness. Which is probably what shaped his whole worldview, that kind acts and a kind hand and drink and word is what really will give you the edge, because if people like you, if people respect you, you will get further in life than if you're a ruthless businessman who, yeah, might make a lot of money, but everyone's going to be gunning for your back. Everyone's going to be looking for a dirty secret. Everyone's going to want to stab you. I'll take that lesson to heart. Life has been hard lately, but we can rebuild. Everything happens for a reason. My gods. What a fucking actual good person. Ugh. Finally! After the family got murdered, I thought we were done, but like, I do have to admit, this is something I really do enjoy. A pleasure. Leave Chef's plate with me for the moment. There must be someone who owes me a favor. I do say, this is probably something I like about this game, is that, yes, this world is dark, depressing, but it's full of people who actually hope for a better future, who don't want to just give up and mope in their own misery. They are fighting to still make something of themselves, to make something of this world, to keep things going, to keep themselves and the things they care for alive. And that is better than all the people dooming and glooming and being like, oh, woe is me. There's no shortage of good people if you know where to look. Yeah. A lot of fictional settings get that wrong about the apocalypse in my mind. Like, you see something like The Walking Dead, for example, where even the main characters are like lying and cheating on each other and kind of like hiding shit and like, you know, backstabbing a little bit. Like, not a ton. They're the good guys, so they do that the least, but they still get in their petty arguments all the time. And then you have like the bad guys who are just these ruthless sociopaths. And I'm like, you do realize cooperation is pretty fucking powerful. Like, going it alone or being a ruthless dictator is only going to get you so far in the long term. And yes, that does tend to be the message of those stories, that cooperation will succeed. But it also tends to be like really filtered with this myopic sense of like these petty authoritarians that just get their way because everyone's scared of them. Like, let's be real. The first time that someone like Negan started doing shit, I feel like a lot of people would just chuck him to the walkers. Like, the fuck? Why are you letting this little violent sociopath kill people? He's not invincible. He has to sleep. Like every other fucking human being. Chuck him. You killed like 5 of your friends. I don't know. It feels weird. I don't know Negan's whole philosophy, so maybe there is more to it. I cut off on The Walking Dead a long time before then. I know he kills Glenn at one point. But like there's a whole thing with that. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. The apocalypse sucks. I like depressing media. I like media where all hope is lost and the gods have abandoned it. But I almost like it in spite of that, because there are still people who struggle in love. One of the things I loved the most about Dark Souls was Solaire. Like, yes, everybody loves Solaire. Sunbro is our best friend. He helps you do some difficult boss fights. But like, when you find him in that game, you have finally like fully reached this like sunlit bridge. You're probably either about to fight a Drake or you've just gotten finished fighting a fire Drake that's probably killed you a few times and if you've just starting before you learn how to target it with arrows and shit. And Solaire is just standing there at this beautiful sunrise, posing for you. And he greets you with kindness where you've only been, like, sarcastically laughed at up until this point. Anyway, I did want to talk about that because I do think it's kind of cool. Oh, we also have a new books. Okay, so there's a new book there. I think we need to stick with the books for the most part. Also, really good experience rate. It's the best experience rate, and it gives me the most books. So I think we're doing with Yasek. Does it have anything I can't do? No, we should be able to do all of this. Cool. But yeah, like, having optimism in your depressing world is what makes that depressing world worth exploring. Like, if the world literally has nothing left to it, if everyone is shitty, everyone good is dead, and there's only the shittiest people, there's nothing really left to protect. It's sort of like how The Last of Us is good because, like, you have Ellie, you know, this innocent girl who, whatever you think of Joel's decision or The Last of Us as a game, Joel's decision to care more about his surrogate daughter than the fate of humanity, yeah, it's a shitty decision, but it's a shitty decision made to protect Ellie, this source of love and almost innocence in this dying world. Which is, I think, part of why people dislike The Last of Us, actually. Because the whole thing with Ellie was, yeah, she wasn't, like, innocent. She had been touched by the depravity of the post-apocalyptic world, you know. She had lost a friend, she had seen death, she had seen pain and suffering, but she had maintained a sort of childhood and innocence to it. There was this hope that at least the next generation could learn to grow up in the world. Kind of like World War Z thing, where, yeah, zombies happened, shit went down, the world is forever changed, but the people who have survived have adapted and learned to live in this world, and they can be better than us. They can grow from this. There was a real vibe of, yes, this world is frustrating, but these people have found a way. And yes, Joel did something really shitty. He denied humanity a vaccine or a cure. Granted, it wasn't a guarantee they'd be able to make something off her. They could have just as easily killed her scraping that super useful fungus and spent years only for it to turn out to be a dead end. That is entirely possible. However, it is pretty likely they could have saved the world, or at the very least, immunized everyone against the infection. But, to Joel, it was more important that he preserve Ellie and her happiness, which is why he also didn't tell her. The next generation will have it better, that's for me. Right, well, and the whole thing is, Joel didn't just kill all the people who were trying to make the cure and escape with Ellie. He lied to her and specifically did not tell her about the cure, because he told her they couldn't make a cure out of her and that they will have to build on their own. Humanity will survive, we will go back to the compound with those friendly survivor friends we made, we will live our life. And you see Ellie grow older in this, like, safe compound to the north. She's actually growing up. There are people having kids. There are people living safely. The world is healing. And it's only the process of... And then the second game happens, and it's just this revenge murder plot, which, yes, does have thematic themes. I'm not going to deny that it's very thematic, that Joel's actions caught up with him. Quite frankly, from a moral perspective, from most moral perspectives at least, Joel deserved to die for killing all those people and denying humanity a cure. That is a moral comeuppance, but then they specifically do it to set Ellie on this big revenge path, and it kind of, like, invalidates Joel's... Because Joel did sacrifice. Like, he didn't want to destroy the cure. He didn't want to kill all those scientists. He sacrificed his own morals and his own beliefs in, like, a cure. Like, the idea that there was a cure was revolutionary. He had given up all hope, and suddenly there was hope. But he cared more for Ellie as a person than for what she could offer as a cure. And that is why he ended up denying the cure and saving her instead. And it's this really interesting thing with The Last of Us 2, where because they decided to just, like, utterly invalidate Joel's sacrifice the way they did, they kind of just, like, I don't know, made it feel kind of worthless. Like, those scientists died not so Ellie could even live to have her, like, a proper life, but just so that she could go on a revenge spree that would destroy countless other lives and end up killing a lot of dogs. Like, I don't know. In the sequel, the sequel felt off because it invalidated a lot of the ideas of the world will heal regardless. And yes, people will do bad things in the name they love. But, like, yes, there is, like, a theme also of, like, Abby and her whole thing. But Abby was a character added in to contrast Ellie in the revenge plot, but I already don't like the revenge plot, so, you know. I have mixed feelings about The Last of Us. I don't hate it. I don't hate The Last of Us 2 as much as some people do, and I also don't think The Last of Us 1 is, like, a bad game. I've heard a lot of people say it's very formulaic, or that it's, you know, very, like, cinematic game, which it is. It is, very much so. But I also say it's a decent survival third-person shooter. Actually, weirdly enough, getting into the Last of Us topic, it had a remarkably good multiplayer, actually. And it fits into the themes of humanity helping itself. Oh my gosh, I just figured out a way to fit this into the themes. Okay, so the Last of Us game was actually, like, a realistic shooter. And I don't mean that in the sense of, like, yo, you have to, like, bandage wounds before they get infected, like, kind of thing. I mean in the sense that, like, a shotgun shot to you, you are dead. If you take a shotgun blast, like, point blank, you probably, I think, just die. Flat out. Either that or you're basically on your last legs and barely limping away. You can kind of bandage wounds, but the healing isn't that much. So you go down pretty quickly, and you can only take a few hits. As a result, you really had to rely on your teammates in the game. You couldn't just, like, brute force or be, like, a badass player. I think maybe a few people could be a badass player, but generally speaking, you couldn't just, like, brute force your way to victory. You had to actually work with people to be, like, good at the game. And it fostered, like, I remember when I played it a few times, I actually had to, like, go into team chat and talk with people and, like, plan out what we're gonna do. It's like, I'm around the corner behind the air conditioning unit. You fire a few shots and I'll flank them. Like, I remember doing that, and I'm not the kind of person that used that. Humanity helping itself in multiplayer. Remember Death Stranded? Oh, yeah. Death Stranded is another game that does multiplayer like that very well, where you leave behind things. Sort of like, it's like the inverse of invasions in Dark Souls games, where instead of, like, leaving behind invasion marks or invading other players, you would, like, drop helpful items into their world. Yeah. It's actually a lot like that. A lot like that. That's actually a really good description. Alrighty. Let's name this the Claymore. Oh, that's not how you spell Claymore. There we go. Awfully a sack. He snatches the blade and immediately makes this huge savage practice cuts to the air. This city might be full of milk bloods, but at least you know how to forge a proper blade. Not many weapons like this left in the world outside these walls. Time to see if these arena fights are worth it. Yeah, like, humanity will endure. Humanity will help itself. And that is kind of a theme of The Last of Us. Like, yes, people will do shitty things to the ones they love, but it doesn't necessarily mean becoming a complete sociopath. Which I think is, again, part of the reason I don't like The Last of Us 2 as much, is that both the main characters become so monstrous by the end. Yeah, he who fights monsters or gazes into the abyss and all that has its place. It has its place. But I don't want it in every piece of media. Holy fuck. Like, The Last of Us universe was depressing enough. They have an airborne zombie plague. Airborne! That's fucked! That's super fucked! It's a fucking airborne fungus plague that is literally, like, consuming entire cities. You can't even clear out all the zombies because the fungus is just everywhere. And then you also made it even more nihilistic and depressing. I'm just like, ugh. Please no. Please no, please. Anyway, navigating your way through the heart of Aaron Keep, I arrive at the central plaza. Yes, we've already done that. The high citadel will throw everything into shadows. At our usual stall stands Quell, the ironmonger, her weathered face breaking out into a tired smile as you approach. Oh there, Smith. Good to see you again. So, what do you think of Professor, my predecessor? Well, his temperament was foul as curdled milk, but he knew how to make my steel sing. I just pitied his poor wife. But not my business to discuss. Point is, he knew his craft. You've got big boots to fill, Smith. Alright, survey her wares. Ooh, more books. I think I'll grab both of these. Yep, I will grab both of those. I'll sell this broken cartwheel, and I will buy some metal. Keep about 40. Let's give goodbye to the ironmonger. Okay. Let's see. Nope, none of those. Oh, God, which one next? Which next? Fuller unlocks the ability to make rounded end stuff. Sword bending allows me more intricate things, which might be useful. It does. I do eventually want to get these though, so I think I am gonna. Side fullers, mastery, aesthetic mastery. I'm gonna go this way because it'll allow me to salvage more. Let's be honest. The cordyceps fungus mutating to parasite humanity is the closest thing to getting the zombie apocalypse. The cordyceps fungus is one of the most terrifying zombie apocalypses in all of fiction. The only thing worse is, like, the Hunger, the Marvel Zombies one, which is terrifying in its own right on, like, 1,000 different levels because the zombies are, like, intelligent, and they slowly, like, they can't, it's hard for them, they think they're in control, but they're not. The hunger is constantly driving them, and their desire to infect powerful hosts means the zombies are all superpowered. It's a whole thing. I'm not talking about the Marvel Zombie from, like, the What If multiverse, that's, like, already bad. I'm talking about the zombie one from, like, the comic. It's one of the few comic runs I've run. Very horrifying when you start thinking about the implications. You know, I only started because I one of the only comic things I, like, really got into for a while was, like, the Ultimate Fantastic Four thing. I read that because it was something like an intro, and I thought Fantastic Four were cool. But yeah, so all right, salvage that, get some more material, and we will end the day. All right, so. Oh, yes, we need to go to Lucas to help him get to the camps. But yeah, the cordyceps is fucking terrifying. Mostly because you can't just, like, kill the zombies and everything's fine. Like, even The Walking Dead, let's be honest, if you kill every single zombie, and then, you make sure that everyone is immediately, like, burned or decapitated after they die, then you're basically good. Like, yes, a zombie plague might crop up every once in a while, but it's not going to be like a world-ending threat once the thing is dealt with. Even though everyone is infected, it's actually not as bad. The main problem is actually the hordes of zombies that emerge from the initial confusion of the infection. Like, individual zombies after a few seasons of The Walking Dead aren't really dangerous. It's the ones that catch you off guard because you're going into unexplored houses because you haven't cleared all the zombies out of, like, civilized areas, and the zombies that emerge from people not disposing of their dead correctly. But, like, proper watch groups could easily take care of that. I imagine it'd be like come like crossing the road, like, hey, nobody's come out of that house in a few days. We should call the police. Just get them to like check it out, you know, the body armor, it'll be fine. The main issue though is you don't have resources or society like that. Society's all collapsed. So you have to like go out into these dangerous areas, and there are whole cities just full of these massive hordes of walkers that can just overwhelm things through sheer attrition, you know. World War Z is actually, not the movie, the book, World War Z. If you've never read it and you like zombie fiction, it is actually peak zombie fiction. Their world is irrevocably altered by the zombie apocalypse, but it is a world that, like, adapts to it. Like, they build their houses in like, trees or, like, on stilts, like they're preparing for floods. And they don't use stairs. Most places use ladders. Because being able to pull up your ladder when a zombie horde comes and then shoot them from a distance is really fucking useful. It literally changed how people build their homes in the aftermath. Like, the writer who's going around collecting stories notes all these changes to places. And they don't clear up everything. The world government is still intact for the most part. A lot of governments are still intact. Except for North Korea, who, like, probably are all zombified in a bunker somewhere. Long story. But the world, like, survived and moved on, and, like, entire governments are still around. People did shitty things that got covered up and ignored because pressing concerns, we gotta keep going. It's a really realistic zombie fiction that isn't murderously depressive at the same time. Highly recommend World War Z. Anyway, market stalls traced a colorful maze around its perimeter. Above it all, the high citadel looms. Wagons, fresh from the waste, unload their goods. A traveler in dusty leathers. Okay, we've already done this one. I will buy a bit of food. I trade my ration token for a bowl of bone broth stew, mixed in are tough little lumps that might be slices of turnip. I am now well fed. Cool. Mate with Lucas. The Fallen Doe. Lucas sits outside the Fallen Doe, deep in conversation with a richly dressed man in a silver brocade. He sees you approach. He waves them away. Ah, there you are. Thank you again for bringing word of my niece. Are you ready to head to the camp and talk to Chev? Aye, I'm ready. He has eschewed his usual finery for simple peasant clothes. Let's go. Follow him. But yeah, like, there are a lot of versions of the world that can go through an apocalypse where people still care about each other. And throwing that aside is, like, not good. Again, even in the camps, there was that family that offered you food, that offered you comfort. Now that you've gained residency in the city, visiting this place brings back an onslaught of painful memories. Lucas steps delicately through the churned mud and puddled sewage, staring above it. Or the applicants gaze resentfully back, their eyes hollow and sunk skull-like faces. He may be dressed shabbily, but he's clearly an outsider. He has meat on his bones. I had no idea it was like this. Well, now you know. I suppose I do. He falls silent. Pick your way between the ragged tents to reach Shavenna. She's crouched outside her tent, gnawing on a chicken bone. Get her attention. She glances up, then her mouth turns into a perfect O of shock when she sees Lucas. She rushes to him, enveloping him in a fierce hug. Chev, I can't believe it. You really are here. Uncle, you came. By the burning dead, your skin and bones, girl. Here, take this. Attacks it with... He has brought as much food as he could spare from his weekly rations. A loaf of dark bread, 3 withered apples, and a chunk of salted meat wrapped in cloth. Chev attacks it with gusto, tearing into the bread like a ravenous wolf. It's good to see you two reunited. You weren't lying. She's actually here. I can't believe my little niece traveled all this way and survived so many hardships. Thank you for letting me know where to find her. You're welcome, Lucas. I don't know how I can thank you enough, Smith. Here, Uncle, sit. We have much to talk about. Sit with them. You sit with Chev and Lucas for a long time as the two of them catch up. They avoid discussing stories of their survival since the Sundering, Chev's harrowing journey across the waste, Lucas's comfortable rise within Aaron Keep society. Instead, they stick to old family anecdotes and covering bittersweet. You were so excited from the puppet show. You were sick right down my back. Your father laughed until he cried. Laughing and crying too, wiping away tears as she relives the memory. For better days. I won't miss the world we used to have. Ah, lass. So does everyone. I wish we could chat all day, but we need to head back to Doc. Our next step, Shavenna, is to get you safely into Aaron Keep. Every day you're out here carries a risk. What if I take her on as my apprentice? Not good enough, I'm afraid. The Keep is only interested in accepting master-level artisans. Difficult it was for even you to gain your worker's permit. When I'm back in Aaron Keep, I'll call in all the favors I can. I know the Marshal has been clamping down hard on permits recently, but perhaps I can pull off a miracle. Is there anything I can do to help? Chef, is there anything you need? While my uncle's busy calling in favors, could you make me a sword? Something lightweight, but small but sharp. Chef shivers, her eyes scanning the dark shapes of the tents around her. I can't pay you, but I'd appreciate it. I'm starting to worry the rusty bread knife under my pillow isn't enough. Has anything happened? Nothing to me, not yet, but the nights are growing longer, and people are getting more desperate. And to be honest, by coming out and seeing me like this, you've made me a target. There'll be jealous whispers. People will wonder if you brought me food, and they can take it without a fight. No problem, Chef. I can make you a sword. I'll pay you for your time, Smith. I insist on it. I also wouldn't object if you brought me some food, Smith. Just once in a while. Food and pleasant company are both in scarce supply out here. It's getting dark. We have to go. Stay safe, Shavenna. Sev smiles often, but now her smiles are always tinged with bitterness or sorrow. Now she smiles genuinely, and it's like the sun bursting through the clouds. I will, Uncle. Thanks for everything. The two embrace somewhat awkwardly, and you accompany Lucas as he makes his way back to the city. The hollow stares of the other applicants follow you all the way to the outer gate. Oh, fuck! I swear to God, if you kill Shavenna Game, I will end you! I do not want Shavenna to die! But, like, I'm getting so many warning signs. I want them to live so badly. By the dead, this thing's heavy. He strolls in your workshop, glancing around with curious eyes and a broad smile. He walks over to your rack of tools and weighs a hammer in his hand. Dead, this thing is heavy. Or maybe it's just been too long since I lifted anything heavier than an ale mug. Tidings, Lucas. Tidings. Alas, this is not merely a social Listen, I'm sure you know why I'm here. I need a blade for my Shavena, something to keep her safe in that horrendous camp. Short, sharp, concealable. It's no good to her if someone steals it. Can you start right away? Of course. Shev is gonna get a fucking good dagger. I'm not letting her die. I fucking swear I'm not letting this be the family all over again. I'm not letting this be that fucking family again. Ugh. Alright, gonna add some balance. Alright, out of it there. Okay. Cross section. Change thickness. Oh, man. We are not letting Shev die. She will live through this. I will fucking make sure of it. Oh, man. I wonder if it counts how much steel you use. Like, how much effort you really gives it. I want it to have amazing stats. Alright, it has good mobility, good speed. I'm gonna give it a curve. So it can be like kind of like a knife, you know? I'm gonna give her like a nice knife, like a curved knife that can really go at people. Really good curved ornamented blade. She deserves this. Not gonna add like gold or anything, you know, I don't want people shivving her for it. But I do want it to be something that can be like utilized very well. Or do you think I should get rid of the curve and give her something that's like more... Oh god, I care so much about this fictional character. Fuck me. Yeah, a nice like curved sword for her. Something sharp and pointy. Fucking knife. She's using a butcher knife, so I'll give her something similar to that, but longer, sharper, and more deadly. This is like a hunter's sword or a knife. Keep the curve, edge on one side. Oh, that way she can use it for blunt force trauma. That's good. That's good. All right. Cross section. Spine width. There we go. No, wait, that's the wrong side. There we are, there we are, there we are. So keep with the curve. So you got a nice blunt side on the other side, so you can, like, knock somebody out with it. You don't have to be lethal. You know, she doesn't necessarily want to kill. She will do so if it'll protect her. Also, having, like, a hard side right there means she can use this, like, blunt edge right here as, like, a hammer. Actually, you know what? I'll give her a little bit more room there. That way she can use this kind of, like, this part right here as sort of like a hammer. Alright. Alright. Much better, much better. Okay. I think this is good. I think this is solid. We just need to add a leather pommel and give it there. It's also very low weight. Doesn't have a lot of impact, but she's looking for something to, like, defend herself. You know, something sharp and quick. Okay, so we have some new guards now. Let's see. The Morning Sun. No, it's a little too bulky. This is bulky, but it looks nice, and I do think Shev deserves nice things. I don't know. I'm trying to find something that's, like, not too... I want it to kind of fit, you know? Fit the vibe. Be kind of, like, stealthy dagger-like. Ugh. Maybe I can, like... Oh, yeah, here... Ooh, actually... Let's do this. Yeah, I think this one's best. I think this is, like, a good guard for this. It's kind of ornamented, but not, like, too ornamented. You know, this is the kind of thing that can be done if you just didn't have enough metal on board and you needed to cut holes in the guard. Okay. And then we will not give her a nice, you know, basic grip. Don't want anything too fancy. I'm thinking like a basic, basic rounded grip. Just large enough. We want to keep this size down as much as we can. Alright. And then we will add in a nice pommel for her. Nice, good, solid pommel. We got some new ideas here, too. We got some new... Also, I'm just thinking, I want her to be able to stab, too. The thickness means it can't really stab that well. I'm gonna go ahead and... Goes down to your own sharpness, but it gains 3 stiffness, which means this blade can now actually stab people. That's good. That right there is good. Because this gives her access to, like, everything she needs. It doesn't have a lot of impact, which I don't really think she wants. But it has really good speed. I do want to reduce it by a bit. So I'm thinking what we do is we reduce the length. No. Not really doing it. Nope. None of that. Curvature. I'm trying to give it, like, that final point of speed. I'm trying to figure out, like, what I can do that'll, like... What'll give it more speed? Like, I want it to have, like, good stabbing potential and good sharpness. Because I'm not sure if these stats affect how, like, Chev will get, like, shivved if I don't, you know? Alright. Narrowed point. It's got good stiffness. This is about as good as I think I'm going to get. She needs only 1 this, but I am going to let her be able to stabby stab. And it's a 2.6. Round up to 3. Round up to 3, I guess. Good curvature. Yes, we've got some good curvature. We've got some good... Basically everything. I don't think there's anything else I can do. Maybe convexity can give me extra really sharpness too. So convexity, no. But other way around, maybe? Well, I got up to 2.6. And you know what? This is a fine blade. This is a fine blade. It meets all the requirements. I just gotta add some leather to the handle. Oh, I can do like full Japanese with the handle, actually. Wait. Ooh, that looks nice, actually. You know what? It's for Chev. Chev is worth a little bit of our resources. She deserves this. You know, Chev deserves a little bit of love. It's nice, but not like steal it nice. You know, like to the unobserved eye, it just looks like you don't even have enough leather to like fully cover the handle. Ha ha ha. Or wait, no, I need to add more leather. So, fine. It's dual colored. That will gather some eyes, but again, Chev is worth it. Chev is worth it. Chev's shiv. It's Chev's shiv, you know. Or no, Chevena's shiv. Chevena's Shiv, I think, is a good name for this. It's an excellent blade. I shall offer to Lucas. Once the blade is done, you send a messenger to fetch Lucas. He arrives at your forge within the hour. Let's see it, Smith. It's a blade worthy of my niece. Show him the dagger. He holds it up to the light, rubbing his chin thoughtfully, twisting it this way and that. Then he smiles ruefully. To tell the truth, Smith, I know nothing about blades. Nothing at all. But this one looks fine to me. I'll arrange your payment. Every penny well earned. Are you going to take this to Chev? Ah, no, I'm afraid not. That's your job. I'll do it, but I'm still busy trying to call in favors on her behalf and tell the truth. Camp just comforts me. Give her my love. Hopefully some cold steel will keep her safe from the camp's dangers while we arrange her rescue. Shavina Shiv. Oh! I should have added that. Oh, fuck. Fuck me. Shavina Shiv. Oh, man. That would have been good, actually. Okay. A woman enters your shop. Enters your forge. Dark circles under her eyes. She keeps one hand on the small purse at her hip. I need something small. Lightweight. Easy for me to maneuver. My husband spends his nights rotting in the tavern. So it's just me and my children at home most nights. I need a blade. Someone needs to keep my family safe. I'm just trying to look at the other options. Yeah, we'll do this one. Stilla. Accept. Alrighty, let's get started. As always, we start with the length. But no, I like this game. Again, I was not expecting this thing to, like, blow up for me. I was expecting this to be a one and done, you know, oh, we played around a sword crafting game. I was not expecting to get more invested in this story than basically any game since, like, Expedition 33. The writing is solid, and the characters are actually, like, nuanced, and the world is mwah. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I fucking love it. So I am definitely up to, like, keep doing this and to figure out what we're doing. So we need, like, a really fast blade for this one. She needs to defend her kids. So we want that full mobility. We're gonna pop down that stiffness a bit. Alright, now we got a cross section. She is looking for, like, a fucking long sword, isn't she? Damn. Or at least, like, a broadsword. This woman does not want a knife. She wants a broadsword. This is the minimum length she wants that. Good gods. Ugh. For reference, this is, like, twice the length of Shev's dagger. Shiv's dagger. Shev's shiv. Okay. I mean, it's simplistic, but it'll do the trick. I'll go ahead and add a point to it. You know, I could just give her a fucking... I think I could probably do this without making... Oh, no, she requires a regular point. I wonder how long until, like, I don't have to make a point. And I can literally just make, like, a bladed stick. That will be funny. It's gonna happen eventually. Eventually they're gonna say no point required, and I'll just be able to make, like, a long pole with, like, bladed edges. God, if I have the ability to do that, I have to do it. Remind me, if I encounter a situation where there's no point requirement, I have to make, like a bladed stick. Oh, that would be hilarious. Okay, so we've got a good impact. You know, she's more looking for speed anyway. I think I'll go ahead and, like, add on to this. Impact is underrated. It's not sharp at all, though. Did I make it, like, too thick? No, wait. The convexity can fix that. There we are. Kind of like a rounded sharpness. Okay, now we just gotta add a one-handed grip and a basic attachment. Let's see. Yeah, something kind of... Oh, this is a longer blade. We probably don't want to use one of the Quillian blocks. Actually, I probably should use the Quillian block for Chevs. Honestly, all honesty. Basic guard, basic guard. You know, it's going to be defending kids, but you wanted to have a basic guard. Something simple. Nothing... You know, the blade itself is already kind of sharp. We don't want the kids also getting sharpened. Okay. So let's, on top of that, give it a nice little handle. Nothing fancy for this. We don't really know this person. Chev is our friend. We made her nice because we don't want her to die in the camp. This one is at least inside the walls, where the violence seems to be mostly fine. Let's be honest, if it's going to be used against anyone, it's probably going to be used against her, like, husband. Because he seems like a bit of a dick. Or, ooh, if we don't do a pommel, actually, we might be able to do one of the Quillian blocks. Yeah, that's much better. That's better. There we go. Nice and balanced. This is actually pretty nice looking. I like it. And then we can, like, I think, if we want to, like, you know what, we can, like, go ahead and, oof. I'm going to reset that. Shift constrain. There we go. Well, I wish there was a way to, like, lock it so that it... Fuck. Because I'm trying to make this, like, curved handle thing. So I like making my swords a little decorative, you know? There we are. There, it's a little nicer now, I think. That looks good. Nice Chev. What do we call this one? Like... Familial Edge? Familial Edge, maybe? Or... Husband's Bane. Husband Bane. Or Husband's Bane. There we are. Because let's be real, she's probably protecting her kids from her drunk husband. I am probably handing her a weapon that she's gonna murder her husband. The beat stick. Okay, never mind. Beat stick it is, actually. That's good. Beat stick is good, actually. I like that. Because it is kind of, like, very curved and stickish. Beat stick. Let's do it. Oh, it's... Oh, right. I've got to add some black pigment to something. I guess I could, like, stain the leather, right? Or, Oh, boy. I have to add more ornamentation to it. God, do you have to add more ornamentation to something? Ugh. There we go. Alright. The beat stick. I don't know, the black handle kind of makes it look a little bit evil, not gonna lie. She tests the blade's weight and slides it carefully into her market basket beneath the cloth. Wait, how is she carrying this thing in a market basket? What the fuck? It's large, it's longer than my anvil. Continue. Good. I'll sleep better tonight. She counts out the coins with careful precision, then leaves without another word. Yeah, I've definitely just ensured the death of a drunk husband. 100%. There's no denying this. There's no, like... I know technically I have, like... You know, like... I could probably convince a guard I didn't have anything to do with it. But let's be real. I knew what I was doing. I knew exactly what I was doing. Squaring the Circle, another book. Yay, more ornamentation! Alright, let's go check out the scrap peddler too. See what he has to say. We got anything? Ooh! More pigments are always good. I'm gonna grab some more of that. I have a little bit of silver. Oh, no, we don't want to grab that. I'm running low. Actually, I'm gonna sell a bit of silver. Get a bit more metal. I'll sell 2 pieces of gold. So that I can... Oh, God, I need to sell a little bit more because I need to be able to afford food. Food is like a good solid 40. There we are. Now I have enough to, like, survive the day, I feel. Alright, well, in the day, like this. She's hiding it in the baguette. She's hiding it in the baguette. Oh my god, now I can't get the idea of, like, the sword. You know, the sword in the Sedone? The French would have the sword in the baguette. Oh, man. Now that's permanently in my brain. Thanks for that. Alright. Oh, man. One second. Jeez. That's funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and end the day. Oh, wait, no. We have one. We actually have like a one thing. A woman shuffles forward, her eyes red-rimmed and haunted. She has a sword in her hand that's clearly seen years of neglect. My husband passed away a few days ago. This was his blade. I told him it needed maintenance, but he insisted it was fine. What do you think, Smith? This blade clearly needs some work. I thought so. Could you fix it up for me? Now I'm all alone. I'd like to have a weapon I can rely on. Alright. Fuck it. Why the hell not? Oh wow, this thing's actually kind of nice. Got even some bit of ornamentation. Some like red pigment on the hilt. Very nice. Solid. Pretty even. Alright, sure. We'll sharpen it and give it a good point. Actually, cross-section. Alright. We will change thickness. Okay, and we will get that point. There we are. A nice blade for the ages. Okay. Yep. Basic fix job. She traces the restored blade with trembling fingers, tears in her eyes. This is so much better. Even to my untrained eye. It was barely worth carrying before, was it? Thank you, Smith. Alright. We did a good deed. Don't know if that will actually reward anything, but hey. Okay. Ending the day now. So we end the day. Oh, our daily upkeep is actually no longer 40. It's only 20 now. That's good. So, previous day's balance, today's profit, and daily upkeep. We have a new balance of 32. We need to find a carpenter. I need to give Chev the dagger today. Otherwise, yeah, shit is gonna go fucky. So we're gonna give Chev the dagger. Chev, you better not be dead. I fucking swear. Outside the walls of Aaron Keep, desperate souls gather in makeshift tents, pleading for entry. Now that you've gained residency in the city, visiting this place brings back an onslaught of painful memories. First, I'm gonna find Sandrick Maunder. Some hideous illness is rippling through the camp. The moans of the dying mingle with the sobs of the bereaved. Fly-blown corpses lie beside overstuffed graves. No! You wonder, does the Masked King's barrier keep out disease? Since the Sundering, the world's been racked by innumerable plagues. But you haven't heard of any striking Aaron Keep. As you walk to the Senator's tent, you saw Clodo limping through the mud. He looks at you with doleful eyes, then hobbles away with his head downcast. Follow the dog. No! Dog leads you over churned mud, through ragged tents, past the hordes of coughing near skeletons, whose eyes follow you with blazing jealousy. At last, Clodo stops outside Sandrick's tent. He barks once, softly, and pads inside. Sandrick Maunder, the last son of the Maunder clan, is lying on a bedroll. The boy looks nothing like nothing more than rags draped over bones. He's not breathing. Clodo pads over and gently nudges his fallen master. Sandrick's body shifts slightly, then settles back in place. A few flies lift and start circling the tent. Examine the corpse. You don't know what got to him first. Starvation or disease. Most likely a combination of the two. Fuck! Sandra Commander is dead. Far too young. Clodo raises his head in a mournful howl. Comfort Clodo. You stroke Clodo's flea-ridden flank, tracing your fingers over his jutting ribs. The dog leans into you, breathing heavily. I bury him. You dig one more grave beside the others. Sandrick is so light in your arms, he's hardly there at all. You lower him gently into the muddy hole you've dug. Clodo stands at the graveside, oddly silent and solemn. You deserve better. Her shovel bites the dirt. Spadefuls of earth shower the grave, covering Sandrick's pale face. Refilling the grave takes what energy you have left. You'll need to head home before you collapse where you stand. Encourage Clodo. Oh shit, did I just like... Did I get the dog but like fuck up Chev? Encourage Clodo to follow you home. Eat him a strip of dried meat and pet his flank. Clodo is fixed in place, his eyes downcast. The sun sinks low in the sky. No! I fucking fuse! When was the last time? When was my last, like, load? Quick load. I fucking refuse to let the dog die out here. Well, I fucking refuse to let the dog die because he won't follow me home. I'm gonna fucking... I don't care. I do not care. I have dealt with this in... No. No, I keep clicking the wrong thing. That's why I have to keep reloading. I am not letting the fucking dog die because of a bad roll. I'm sorry, game. I will accept... I've accepted a lot of shit rolls in this game. But I am not accepting that one. I fucking fuse. Ugh. Comfort Clodo. Examine the corpse. Bury him. You deserved better. I'm now exhausted. I had a fucking 65% chance. I'm fucking done with this shit. There. I will accept the other rolls, but I'm not letting the dog die out here over this. I'm sorry. Finally, with a soft bark, the dog turns away and nuzzles your flank. He trots at your heels as you make your way back to the forge. For the first time since his master died, his tail starts to wag. Oh, fuck. You wake up with a groan, every movement sluggish. The night has left you with bone deep of binding exhaustion. Today's work will be impeded. Clodo's life in the camp has left him covered in filth and fleas. His ribs jut through his fur, spots mange on his flanks. But he pants and whips his tail with enthusiasm as you approach. I'll give him a bath. He's unfamiliar with the concept of baths. Once you've scrubbed him with soap and upended the first bucket over his head, he shows he doesn't like it. He runs off, yelping. Apparently you've decided you intended to drown him. He chases around the workshop for an hour before the last of the suds have been rinsed off. Afterwards, though, Clodo looks like a new dog. His fur is glossy and shiny. The flea infestation has been mostly combed out. He glares at you resentfully for the rest of the day. I'll get back to work. Here, food, Clodo. You need some food. I hold out a strip of dried meat. Clodo wolfs down eagerly. After a life in the wasteland, he's not going to waste time savoring his meals. I actually have a dog like this. We have a dog called Lola, who was like... We found her on the side of like one of like the sort of high... Not a highway, but a road everyone treats like a highway. Burbank. And, wow. She was like a wild dog. She was like living out in the woods. My mom picked her up, and we've had her for like a while now. And it's nothing that goes away with dog. She still eats like every meal is going to be the last and like devours it. Clodo pads back to his basket and curls up for a snooze. You remember the dog sleeps so long and so deeply. Clodo's exhausted. He had to watch everyone he loved and cared for die. Oh gods. I need to do some work today, but I'm so exhausted. Fuck. I can relate. The next customer looms at your doors, expressing grim. Make me a sword, smith. His voice is a guttural rasp. He doesn't seem inclined to go into further detail. How long do you think it takes to bury a body? A long time. I don't know, but a while. I mean, digging a hole takes a while, to be fair. Digging a hole does take a while. Make me a sword, smith. I really hope Shavana doesn't die because of that. I really hope she doesn't. Alright, hand and a half, narrow point. Actually, wait, we've already basically gone there. Okay, cool. Cross section. Convexity. Alright. There we are. Spine width. Alright, now kind of getting a little bit of stats and a little bit of everywhere. Alright, change the thickness. I kind of wanted to like have a little bit of everything, but I can't really get that. A little bit of everything is... Oh, whoa, we got it! 1 point, at least 1 point each point area. Yes! Mini challenge achieved. Alright, please, again, I'm just like the entire time, like, crossing my fingers and hoping Chev isn't going to be dead when we get back. Oh, man. Really, really hoping she's not going to be dead when we get back. Man, oh man, will we help Chev? That is the question, right? Like, will we be able to actually help her? Ah, my attempt to get, like, a point in everything is, like, getting fucked up. God damn it. Yeah, I can't get good impact and all this other shit. Damn it. Maybe a tamper with? Oh, there we are. Okay, I kind of got it. I think I got it. There we are. Alright, now we can do this. This is a fucking wonky-ass sword. Actually, I'm going to go back real quick. This just looks ugly. This just looks ugly. We're going to take out the tamper with. And I'll increase the... Oh, no, not the tamper with. The, Shit, I need to undo that. Add back the tamper width, actually. That was good. It's the change thickness. Not change thickness. Cross section. This wasn't really affecting anything, but the tamper width actually kind of helped. So we're going to have it tamper into like kind of a broader area up here. There we are. Kind of like a general all-rounder, focusing on hitting hard and being easy to... very mobile and stiff. Sort of a piercing sword-ish. Nah. It'll be what it'll be. That is for the person who wields it to discover. Okay. Now... No, we can't really use that as like a... I don't think we can use these as like actual... handles. Yeah, no, these aren't like actual like grips. Really, do we really want to go with the basic oval? Let's do a diamond. Whoa. Shit. Seriously? Still not a hand and a half? It's not 3 mobile if I do that shit. Like, holy fuck. I guess I gotta make the sword longer. Jeez, you want... What kind of guy wants a handle this long for a sword this short? Like, holy fuck, man. Alright, there we go. Like, jeez. Oh, I made it too long, didn't I? I'm the idiot. Hand and a half, not two-handed. That was, like, over two-handed. I knew something had to be wrong. Also, that's gonna, like, show, so we're gonna use that a bit. There we are. Long handles, short blade, spear. I guess you could make a spear with this, actually. Because you can even stack these on top of each other. That would actually be really interesting to see if I can get away with one of them eventually. Nah. There we go. Nice basic sword. Nice and basic. Wow, you really can just fuck around with this. I really do like playing with this now that I've started. Like, I don't really like just making it straight anymore when I can do a little bit of orientation. You know, a little bit of art in trying times never hurt anybody. What was the offer again? Oh, God, I forgot what this is even for. We'll just call this, should have been a spear. No. God, what do I even think of fucking calling this? I'm gonna call it pokey. I don't know, it just has a pokey look to it. I think it's a really long needle-like tip. It's called pokey. Get over it. The big man's eyes flicker over the blade. He grunts with satisfaction and drops a bag of coins in your waiting palm. Not even give me a word. All business, that guy. Alright, get back to work. Alright, I am out of energy for the day, so we're gonna go ahead and exit. Our remaining one's gonna be lost. I will go back to the camp for Chev. Please, please, please. Blade, no questions asked. Exactly. Just like no questions. Just wants to fucking get the blade and be done. Yeah. So, now that you've joined residents of the city, seek out Chev. She's sitting in her tent, pale and gaunt as ever. You approach, she stifles a cough. She smiles sadly. I know what you're thinking. Has she got the malady that's been spreading around the camp? Truth is, I don't know. But I surely don't feel right. You better stand up wind, just in case. Have you made me a sword yet? Camp about folks going There's whispers in the camp about folk going missing at night. I'd feel better with a blade at my side. Here's your sword. May it serve you well. Smiling, she attempts a few experimental jabs at the air. If anyone comes after me in the night, I can give them something to think about. By the way, has Lucas found a way to get me into the city? I'm not sure. Well, maybe see if he's had any progress. It's torture being stuck out here and not knowing if the end is in sight. Give her some food. You brought some bread and cheese. Not much, after all. Rationing is still enforced within city limits, but it's still a feast by the camp standards. When you offer it to her, Chev falls upon it with savage determination. Only when it's gone, she's picking individual crumbs from her clothes as she speaks. Sorry if my table manners offend. You know what it's like out here. How's life in the camp? Oh, as you expect. Wretched and hungry. Tell her about life in Aaron Keep. She listens to your tales, mingling wistfully in envy, drinking in your every word. Seeing her reaction reminds you of how lucky you are to have found a place in the city. You are now inspired. I bid a goodbye to Chev. Oh, please, Chev, do not die from illness. I have done so much to help keep you alive. It's hard to believe you ever lived outside of Aaron Keep's protective walls. Out here, there's always death in the air, and the memory of hunger gnaws at your belly. Better to hurry back to the warmth and safety of your forge. The applicants are giving you strange looks. You no longer belong here. Well, we got Clodo with us at least. We have Clodo. We managed to save the dog. And only because we got the right roll. Like, holy fuck. Swords of the East, Volume 2. I think I have that. Do I have Saddle Brown? See, I only have one thing of Saddle Brown. We'll have to go check with my suppliers to see if I can get more. Then this one, Walnut Brown. Do I have Walnut Brown at all? I do not have any Walnut Brown. Mobility, Silver. I do have Silver, though. This one is giving, like, a lot of resources and shit. This one gives me a lot of XP, though. I wish I could do this tin one. That would be a great thing to do. Alright, I think I'll go check and see if I can get a hold of any Saddle Brown and double check that I have. Do I have Swords to the East Volume 2? I do have Swords to the East Volume 2. Sweet. So I'll check and see if I can get some more Saddle Brown. If I can get more Saddle Brown, I think I can do that request. Survey her wares, and no Saddle Brown. Shit. Ugh, more books. God damn it, books are so expensive. See, the thing is, I can't just spend stuff willy-nilly. I need jobs. I'll have to go away for now. I'm going to check my other supplier, the Scrap Peddler. Alright, what do you got, Scrap Peddler? And survey says no Saddle Brown. The mercy of the RNG, I guess. I do wonder if, like, I could have gotten more Saddle Brown, but I just, like, didn't. Or I could have bought it at another point, maybe, and had it for this. It does kind of suck that I can't do either of these, because I don't have Walnut Brown, I don't have Saddle Brown. And I don't want to waste time and requests that, like, I can't finish. So, I think I will probably do Mara and Yasak. 4 children tumble through your door in a tangle of elbows. The smallest, gap-toothed and muddy, is shoved forward by the others. Tam, we need a knife. Sharp 'em. Obviously, the smith knows it needs to be sharp, else it's a knife. The tallest, a girl with scraped knees and a missing front tooth, produces a leather pouch. She clinks heavily. We got coin. Real coin, see? Where did you get this gold? There's an eruption of voices as they all speak over each other. Found it! Earned it fair and square. Gran gave it to us for, doesn't matter, it's good coin. We counted twice. Why do you need a knife? There's a monster in my bed. Need it to cut rope for our swing. Baker's mean dog. Shut it, all of you. We need it for protection. The smaller ones nod vigorously. Alright, I'm going to diplomacy this. I can't make it unless you tell me why you need it. Once again, they all talk over each other. Possible to shift the chaos. Fine, I will bite. What kind of weapon knife are you after? Let's be real, they're clearly orphans, and I'm not going to leave them to die with no weapon. They can pay, so I will take the money. Sharp and pointy. Elsa, I told you, the shift already knows that. She's right, though. It needs to be sharp. Alrighty. So they need something sharp and fast. We'll make a little one. A little baby sword for the kids. Because let's be real, it's the apocalypse. They probably need one. A little one for the kids. Alrighty. Change thickness. I'm not giving them a curved knife. I don't think giving them a curved knife is a good idea. I will give them a one-sided knife because I don't think I should give them a two-sided one. I think that is asking for trouble with kids. So I will make this one-sided. I will unfortunately make it quite sharp. They did ask for that. And pointy. They asked for it to be pointy. Oh. Wait, Actually, wait a second. Huh, interesting. Maybe I can, like, taper the thickness on... No, wait, not taper thickness. Taper width. Taper width, that's what we're after. taper it around here. Okay. Now, we'll taper the whip all the way down. We'll taper the whip all the way down. This just looks weird otherwise. And then I think I will do the point on both sides now. Or do I do the point? Maybe we add in a change of width in general? No. This will be fine. It has a blunt edge, a little bit of an odd shape, but I think it should be good. Alright. You know, I want them to have this blunt edge on the side and still kind of look good, because I don't want to hand them like just like a normal full-on sword with a very... oh, wait, no, they wanted to have a narrow point that still isn't a narrow point. Damn it! Ugh, I have to give kids pointy things. I have to give kids pointy things. There's no way around it. Forgive me. I didn't want to do this, but I have no choice. I have to give kids pointy things. Oof. How oof indeed. Oh well. Damn it. Yeah, that looks weird. I'm just gonna give them a normal life. Look, it's dulled on one side, okay? They're in a dangerous world. They need a way to defend themselves, and they won't... and they are paying me to make it pointy. So it's gonna be pointy. We need something with like a... you know what? I'm giving them the fucking cup guard, because this is now the kitty guard. This is the kitty guard. So you don't fucking cut your hands while trying to do some, like, really cool sword trick. Giving them, like, a full-on cuff guard, because I don't trust them. I do not trust them to like, not cut themselves. So, you know, that's the... this is how it's gonna be. This is how it has to be, unfortunately. Oh boy. I cannot believe I'm handing children a knife. Oh god. Look what I found! A knife! Oh man. Loan documents for the Monopoly game. Oh my god. Actually, okay, so I've been watching some of those cam board game videos. The Risk games were really interesting. I really liked his Risk game video. Particularly I did not know Star Wars had such a cool Risk variant. Since I'm Pixel, a project I'm currently working on the live chat. Loans in your Monopoly game. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Nice. We're gonna give them the fucking kitty card. This looks so weird. This literally does look a bit like a toy sword, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I should have made it curved, but I feel like giving kids a straight sword is already dangerous enough. I don't want to give them something curved. Might hurt themselves. Orphan's Fang. Gonna be very noble about it. Because they're clearly orphans. Mara. Unmet requirements. Oh, right, I've got to get leather on there. There we go. Yeah, loans you pay off after 11 turns. You know, there was that one game that was like the fucking international countries buy all the countries game. The fucking loan is just an endless debt trap because the game is so unbalanced. You don't even get like a fraction. You barely get like a fraction of a percent per like rent. You know, when you land on it, and it's like, oh my god, you're just never gonna pay anything off. Children crowd around as you present the knife. 4 pairs of eyes go wide. Smallstone reaches for it. Mars slaps her hand away and takes the blade herself, testing the edge with her thumb. Sharp. Good. She wraps it in a dirty cloth and tucks it into her belt. The others press close, bickering over who will be the first to play with it. Be careful with that. You could seriously hurt someone or yourselves. We know. They scramble for the door, pushing and shoving. One of them turns back, gives you a ridiculous gap-toothed grin. Thanks, Smith! Then they're gone, leaving only muddy footprints and the echo of laughter down the street. Alright, hope I don't regret that. Feed Clodo. Pet Clodo. Yay! Good dog. Oh, I don't think we can get in there still. We haven't leveled up. We are about to level up, though, which will be cool. I'm going to go ahead and end the day. My rating 4 will be lost, but I'm good with that. Alright, I need to find another carpenter, but I should check if Lucas has spoken with the tannery owner. Yeah. I'm gonna talk with the tannery owner with Lucas. The tannery. Alright, we're gonna be winding down soon. I'm probably only gonna do like one more. Perfect stance is better than any signpost. You follow it to the source where men and women teeter on wooden walkways using long poles to stir the vats. Birds circle overhead. Mangy dogs hunch at the outskirts. Seek out the tannery's owner. Perdesh is leaning back at his desk, feet up in a cloth napkin placed carefully over his eyes as he snores. When you enter, he sighs and lifts one of the napkin's corners. You again? What do you want? Has Lucas spoken to you about Caswin's death? He scowls as though hoping you'd forget to mention Lucas at all. Aye, he came by this morning. Don't know why he's calling in that favor over this, of all things. So are you willing to release Caswin? No. It's asking too much, even for Lucas. He runs the ledger from the drawer and makes a show of flipping through it, running a finger down columns of figures. Caswin's death is substantial. 10 more years of labor at minimum, and the man's already been treated with the usual leniency. If I freed him up payment, I'd be a laughingstock. Out of respect for Boriana, I could... he grimaces as though in physical agony. I'll reduce the settlement amount. Instead of the full $2,000 his contract is worth to me, I could accept a mere $300 for his immediate release. That's as far as my gratitude extends. Very well. I'll gather the funds. Pleasure doing business. Bid goodbye. Hurry back to the forge. Alright, I need to do some work. We need a good job. Saffron, gold, and leather. Okay, do we have any saffron? We do. We have a single thing of saffron. Okay, that should be enough for this. Yeah, that's a good paying job. We'll take it. We have gold. We can do engravings. We can do narrow point. We can do two-handed. I will tell you this. The young woman who strides into your forge wearing practical riding clothes but silk ribbons in her hair and her proud bearing mark her out as a girl of noble birth. Trailing behind her is an awkward boy of similar age with thick eyebrows and a wispy beard. He stays silent. The noblewoman does the talking, clasping his hand in hers. You there, Smith. I am in need of a sword for my fiancé, Albie. He intends to fight a duel with my stepfather. Isn't that right, Albie? Albie nods nervously. He's like he swallowed a wasp. I have plans to play a Monopoly game with increased property and rent cost by 10x10. Mom will start with 1.5 million instead of 1.5k. Holy shit. Did you just take advice? Did you take that game we talked about, like the one we watched the video from Cam Board Games with, as like a fucking, the Cam Sandwich video as like a fucking inspiration? Dear gods. What kind of sword do you desire? Only the very best of swords is suitable for my fiancé. It must be sharp and true, of course. So beautiful, like me. Okay, Contessa. Got it. This kid is gonna die, but I will make sure he dies in style. Let's do this. Do 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 do. Born of cold and winter air and mountain rain combining. Oh man. So No, you see, only my mom starts with increased money. My father and I still start with the normal amount. Oh. Oh, I see. So it's like turning on handicaps in a shooter. When you're playing like one of the old co-op shooters. Like turning on handicaps for someone. Or is this supposed to be an asymmetrical, like, all the renters versus, like, old-style Monopoly, all the renters against, like, the monopolists kind of thing? Alright. It's gonna fight a duel. I think, actually, instead of a curvature on this one, we will taper the thickness. No, wait. No, I keep doing taper thickness instead of taper width. This is going to be like a dueling sword. So like a long rapier-like thing. And then we can do a starting change to width, actually. Very elegant blade. Convexity. Okay, kind of like a piercing needle blade for like stabbing and dueling. Cha-cha. Alright, add a point. A very narrow point. Oh my god, I really am building like just like a fucking rapier at this point. Well, it's a good way to do it, I guess. Let's do this. Building a fucking rapier, I guess. Honestly, this looks more like Hornet's Needle, but like live action. Like not like, you know, like if you were actually building a gigantic needle sword, this feels like what it would look like. The Needle is a good name. I know I gave it to another name, but it's probably to some dead guy at this point. Let's give him a good heavy rapier cup in this case. Alrighty. Realistic Monopoly, we got to deal with someone with 1,000 times more money than you. My dad does not seem to appreciate the difference between millionaires and billionaires. Ah, an educational game. What a wondrous idea. Yeah, people really seem to underestimate the difference between those two. Like, have you ever seen one of those graphs where it actually like shows you the difference in the amount of money? Like it goes from 1 to 10 to 100 to 1,000 to 100,000. And it shows you in like stacks of cash. So you go from like a few bills on the ground, like a stack of wad that fits in your hand, to like these gigantic piles of money that require like forklifts to move, you know? People really don't understand the difference with those. Okay, I don't know Elder Furcock runes. Unfortunately, I really don't. Oh, but these are literally just letters. That's cool. Okay. Maybe we can make honor then. Honor. Cool. No, this is an M. Come on, we gotta have an in. Ah, here we are. In. And then another O. But yeah, by the time you get to like a few million, it's already like gigantic shipping containers worth of money. And then you get to 1 billion and it's like, you can't even see the $1,000 anymore. Like, it's just gone. It's just like an inconceivable amount of wealth. And the fact that anybody thinks they need more than that as an individual person on this planet is just bizarre to me. Like, you could not spend that much money. Like, once you get to $1 billion, you're already at the level where you just can't reasonably spend it. Like, you can't even burn it away quickly, you know? It's hard to even burn that much money away. Honor was perfect, though. 5 runes with the honor engraving. And really good. I like that. I've never understood the desire to make more money than, like, a few hundred million. Even having a billion just feels like overkill. Like, maybe a family's wealth be a billion, but, like, I don't know. Something about it has just always rubbed me a bit the wrong way. He says he understands there's a difference, and I believe he knows there are different numbers. I have a hard time he understands the scale, given how he equates the two. Like, for me, it's, like, kind of simple to explain, even. Like, the simplest way I can think to explain it is just, like, hey, you know how, like, there are millionaires who have more money than you could possibly spend in your entire life? Like, a guy who has $50 million in his bank account and getting, like, you know, returns on investments. He will have more money than you can probably even imagine spending in your lifetime. Yeah, there are people who have, like, 20 of him. There are people who could basically afford to pay for the lifestyles of 20 people like that. And then there are people who can afford to pay for the lifestyles of, like, 20,000 people like that, who have, like, billions of dollars, or can pay for, like, 200 people like that, who have billions and billions of dollars. It's just, like, or even, like, people who want to have $1 trillion. It's, like, good gods. We're going to start talking about Elon Musk, and I don't know why. Like, why? Dude, seriously. Just no. Like, you don't need that much money. No one needs that much money, legitimately. There's, at a certain point, it just becomes, like, gratuitous. Like, why do you even want more? Is it just, do you just see it as a game at that point? I mean, I think at that point you literally can only see it as a game. There's no other reason to continue. Oh, anyway, that's just depressing, though. Talking about that is literally just depressing me. Because I know there are people who legitimately aspire to have, like, $1 billion, and I'm just like, ugh, your life must be so empty of any other joy. Monopoly was always an educational game. Yo, I'm sorry. I'm just now. Sleep has hijacked me. It's alright. We're just making swords and doing talk. We're all good. Alright, so we got gold, leather, and saffron. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. So, we have some... We need to do like a saffron look. For the handle. Leather and saffron. And then we will use some gold. Alright. Or should I do here and do the gold on the tip here? Alright, polish. Turn up that polish. And we will go ahead and polish up this. Alright. Perfect. Ridged leather, the saffron. And nice! I think this looks good. I think this looks very good. Very, very ornamental blade. Oh, this young man's gonna die, but he's gonna die in style, like I said. Honor's needle. You have a needle of honor. No, needle of honor! Oh, God, yes. I almost missed that. Like medal of honor, but you know, it's a needle. Needle of honor. Should meet all of her, oh, it's not sharp at all. Oh, fuck. I need to go back and, like, work on this for, like, 1 second. Convexity. Alright, let me change the taper width, perhaps. And reduce the thickness a bit. Alright. Impact's down, but the speed and mobility, speed and sharpness are up. Zuko time. Also, Zuko time. Also, have you seen the thing about the Inside Job, the show? I tweeted about this. Elon asked me, my friend, after that. Wait, what about Inside Job? Did it get renewed? Like, I'm excited if it got renewed. That would be awesome, but, like, I didn't expect it to get renewed. Oh, shoot. Where are my engravings? Can't see my engravings anymore. Cross-section, edge, convexity. Damn it. I thought I had this and I didn't. Let's reduce the length a little bit. There we go. Okay. Change the point down a little bit more. Narrow the fucking point to about halfway down. How about that? Nah, fencing blades are not sharp. They're pointy. Okay, so I shouldn't be going for sharp. I should be going for full pointy then. Okay. Okay. Want to be able to see my words. Alright, alright, alright. I just, they didn't give me many, like, actual, you know, stiffness then. So I should be trying to get, like, stiffness then. Stiffness, impact, and speed seems to be a good combination. This seems to be good. This is good. Alright. The Needle of Honor. Behold its beauty. I even engraved honor. Oh, it's a little crooked. Oh, no, I think it's just the rune. That's just the rune. That's the way the rune looks. It's fine. Honor on the blade. If you're friends with him, just go visit any island. You might not be able to leave. Lol. Nah, I said something on the server. It's not about renewal. I mean, yeah, this is probably what he wants. Oh, did you guys hear the other thing that Epstein did? In case that was the reference I'm getting. The blade is not... No, it needs to be sharp. She wants it sharp. She wants it sharp. Okay, width then. Reduce the speed. Cross section. Ugh. Oof. Alright, turn off the taper width, maybe. And maybe reduce the point a bit? I don't want it to die, you know? Alright, well, it's sharp, it's stiff, and it has some impact and speed. If you're friends with him, just go, wait, let me just... Apparently he, encouraged Bobby Kotick to do microtransactions in video games. Like, as if we didn't have enough evil to heap upon a single human being. Apparently he encouraged that fucking behavior. You know, as if all the other shit wasn't already evil. It's like if you were a murderer, and then you also stole candy from babies in the park as like an additional, you know, pastime. It's like, it's not worse than any of the other stuff he did. It's just like an extra level of kick some people for fun in the guts as like an extra treat, you know? Like, again, it's like if a murderer went around stealing candy from people in the park. Or, like, gassing people with stunk gas whenever they walk down a beaten path. Just in addition to all the murder and shit. Also, it's just a general piece of shit, and, you know, on top of everything else. Pentex was real this whole time. Lady Faircliff holds the sword up, admiringly. Oh, it is ever so good, isn't it, Albie? She hands her to her fiancé, who looks like he fears it might explode. Oh, I can already hear wedding bells. You just need to get out of this duel out of the way, Albie. Then we can be together forever. Shift your stance a little, Albie. Put your weight behind the blade. Albie accepts your instruction with pathetic gratitude. You take him through some basic sword strokes. Judging by his fumbling attempts, he's got neither experience nor natural talent. Born warrior. Now come on, there's no time to waste. With a queasy expression, Albie sheathes his new blade. Lady Faircliff deposits a bulging sack of coins on your worktop and leaves, hand in hand with her lover. That kid is gonna die. That show was so fucking good. Now, if Elon Musk appreciated it, he must not understand how much of a parody it is. Like, it is very much a parody. And it's supposed to talk about just how shitty the people... Just like, even if there was a cabal of people running the world, they'd be just as incompetent as the rich assholes currently running the world. It's not like anything would change. They would still just be rich, incompetent assholes all the way up. Like, again, anyone who's in a position like that, who seems to think that, like, oh yeah, inside job is, like, totally what the... talking about how we should run the world. It's like... No, they're just talking about how you people like you are actually boobs all the way up. Rich assholes who think they know better. And will get into positions through nepotism or other bullshit. I'm impressed with your profile. Oh, it's a bot Elon. It's Mega Elon. Oh my god, it's a bot account. God, that's even funnier. This is even funnier just from how, like, absolutely fake it is. Anyway, it's getting late. Yeah, I think I will end this day, and we will, like, recoup, and this will be where we'll stop for tonight. It's like 9:30, but this is really funny. It's really funny. It's a bot, though. That's hilarious. That makes it even funnier, actually. Wonder if the bot got fed inside job data. Anyway, I will see you guys all next time, and I will be working on stuff, so we will see how that all goes. Oh man, this has been fun. This game has been great. Day 18 has ended. I can't wait for the next one. I will see if I just like this game some more on Thursday or something else. You know, someone puts me at ease. Anyway, see you guys next time. Bye.